Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. DCS reports increase in COVID-19 cases at correctional institutions. The Department of Correctional Services, DCS, is reporting an increase in the number of COVID-19 cases among the inmates and wards population and staff members in its correctional institutions in recent weeks. According to a statement from DCS, there are currently 58 inmates who have tested positive for the virus, while 7 have been hospitalized. Additionally, 38 members have tested positive and are now in isolation. DCS said data from its Medical Services Unit has indicated that since the onset of the pandemic in March 2020, 206 inmates and 228 staff members have recovered from the virus. The death count remains at 5, 2 inmates and 3 officers from the first wave of the virus. Jamaica remains one of the countries with the least amount of cases in its correctional service within the jurisdiction, said the DCS. Meanwhile, the agency said it will be implementing additional COVID-19 measures to reduce and prevent the spread of the virus. Beginning Saturday, September 18, 2021, the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center is the first instance will observe no movement initially for 7 days, and cloth masks will be prohibited. Surgical masks will be distributed to inmates and officers. The rotation of officers will also be suspended. They will retain their assigned posts for the period to prevent the spread of the virus. The DCS said it will also continue to enforce measures previously implemented, including temperature checks for all individuals entering the institution, hand washing and sanitization stations, along with the provision of thermometers and sanitizing agents at all institutions. The DCS, in collaboration with the Public Health Department, continues swabbing exercises within the institutions. Meanwhile, DCS said that to date, approximately 300 inmates from the adult correctional institutions and more than 300 staff members have been inoculated. COVID-19 cases at St Elizabeth Infirmary. Mayor of Black River and Chairman of St Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, Derek Sangster, is confirming that about half of just under 50 residents and 2 or 3 staff members of the St Elizabeth Infirmary have tested positive for COVID-19 over the past week. Sangster said they were awaiting an official medical certificate to determine if one death over recent days may have resulted from the virus. That resident, Sangster said, had been struggling for some time with serious medical issues. About 19 or 20 residents and 2 or 3 staff members have tested positive. Fortunately for us, all the residents are fully vaccinated, Sangster said. He was unable to confirm whether or not staff personnel had all been vaccinated. Sangster said the residents tested positive and have shown minor or no symptoms. He said all residents of the infirmary have been tested except one who was in hospital and is still in hospital. The mayor said all necessary steps, including isolation protocols, were being followed. At last week's monthly meeting of the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, Sangster announced that a new matron of the infirmary was being sought following the resignation of the current administrator effective the end of this month. Access denied. Public Defender Arlene Harrison Henry said that she and her team faced obstruction at the Forepass police station in Clarendon when they went there to probe an allegation that 19-year-old Rastafarian Nsinga King had been forcibly trimmed by the police. Harrison Henry explained that they went to Clarendon to speak with King on September 6 about the allegation. She said, based on the information received from the young woman, she saw it necessary to visit the police station. At this station, we met the sergeant on duty and we explained the purpose of our visit, that we wanted to have access to the station in furtherance of our investigation of looking at the physical location of the cell block and the guard room, Harrison Henry stated. The sergeant told us he needed a few minutes to consult with his superiors. He went inside the station while I waited outside. He returned to me. I was there with Deputy Public Defender Herbert Mackenzie and Special Projects Manager Victor Hemmings. The sergeant said, I am instructed to advise you that you have to write to the Commissioner of Police for permission to visit and view the station. That is what he said to us, she said. She added that the sergeant told her that he received the order from higher rank officers. Of course, after that we left, because if they are declining us access to the building, then we have to peaceably withdraw. In the course of an investigation, we do not need permission to visit any police station unless there are an exceptional circumstances, she argued. According to Harrison Henry, viewing the layout of the police station is critical to the investigation as it would show where the alleged incident occurred. Harrison Henry said a letter was written to the police commissioner shortly after, indicating that the denial to access at the police station was an obstruction in the conduct of her lawful duty as public defender. She also said that it was a breach of Section 25B of the Public Defender Interim Act. Section 25B states, every person who obstructs, hinders or resists the public defender or any other person in the execution of his functions under the Act or fails to comply with any lawful requirement of the public defender or any person under the Act or controversies of the provision of Section 14(4) in a manner inconsistent with his duty under Section 21, deals with documents, information of things mentioned in this subsection, shall be guilty of an offence and shall be liable on summary conviction before a resident magistrate, now parish judge, to fine not exceeding $50,000 or to imprisonment not exceeding 12 months or to both such fine and imprisonment. She said her office told the commissioner that it was going to warn the deputy superintendent of police at the station for prosecution. On September 9, we prepared our warning for prosecution and had it served at the Maypen police station on September 14, Harrison Henry stated. The public defender said, along with the obstruction, she and her team had been hampered by other issues including no movement days and short staff, but will continue to investigate. We continue to collect statements and we have used the public defender's power of summons to have certain witnesses attend before us, persons who we believe have information that can assist us in the investigations, and they have been primarily police officers attached to the Four Pass police station, she said. The Office of the Public Defender launched an investigation into the matter last month after a video circulating on social media in which King and her mother, Shirley McIntosh, claimed that a member of the police force assigned to the station forcibly trimmed King's locks. In the video, King, who says she is a lifelong Rastafarian, was alleged that she was unfairly detained by the police following an incident in a public passenger vehicle. Deputy Superintendent on sex charge offered bail. 49-year-old Gary Chambers, a deputy superintendent of police assigned to the Marine Division, was yesterday offered bail in the amount of $100,000 in the St. Catherine Parish Court when he appeared with his lawyer, Queen's Counsel Peter Champney, to answer to a charge of indecent assault. The charge followed a recent ruling made by the Office of Director of Public Prosecutions. It's alleged that Chambers indecently assaulted a female officer in October of 2016 while on a journey with her in a motor car. The female made a formal report to the Center of Investigation of Sexual Offenses and Child Abuse (CISOCA) 5 months later. In applying for bail, Champney invited the court to note the date of the alleged incident to the time when the formal report was made. He stressed that, all throughout this period, his client was available and in fact had himself expressed concerns formally about the lack of progress of the investigations when it came to his attention months after October 2016 when he was passed over for promotion within the force. Champney stressed that the allegation and his instructions from his client was unfounded and rooted in malice. Chambers is to return to court on December 3, 2021, when it is expected that the prosecution will be in a position to agree to a trial date. Jamaican man claims gangsters forced him to smuggle cocaine into Bahamas. A Jamaican man was on Tuesday sentenced to 18 months in a Bahamian prison for importation of cocaine after he claimed he was forced to smuggle the drugs into the country to prevent his family from being killed by gangsters in Jamaica. Junior Reed, 28, pleaded guilty to possession of dangerous drugs with intent to supply, conspiracy to import dangerous drugs and importation of dangerous drugs in a magistrate court in the Bahamas. In addition to being sent to prison for 18 months, the Jamaican was fined approximately $1.4 million or 6 months imprisonment. According to a report in the Bahamas Tribune on September 9, Reed was seen acting in a suspicious manner by officers at the Bahamas Customs Hall at Lindell Pinglin International Airport. He was later searched and 4 packages containing a quantity of cocaine were found in compressed tights he was wearing. The drug weighed approximately 2.3 pounds and had an estimated value of 20,000 Bahamian dollars according to the report. Reed was subsequently arrested and charged. Prior to his sentencing, Reed told the magistrate that he smuggled the cocaine against his will, claiming that months after a mafia leader in Jamaica instructed him to transport the drug to the Bahamas to avoid his mother and sister being killed. Reed also told the court that he did not tell the Jamaican police about the threat, as informing the police would also result in his family being killed. Prime Minister hands over 40 tablets for East Kingston and Port Royal students. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has handed over 40 tablet computers to support virtual learning for students in East Kingston and Port Royal. He presented the devices to Member of Parliament for the constituency, Philip Paulwell, while visiting the vaccination site at the Windward Road Primary and Junior High School in East Kingston on Wednesday. Some of the tablets will be presented to students of the institution. During his visit, Holness also donated a multifunctional printer to the school. The Prime Minister said the tablets were secured through the effort of Consul General of New York, Alison Roach Wilson, while the printer was gifted through his Positive Jamaica Foundation. Holness noted that the presentation of the tablet is in support of the government's effort to equip students with devices to access online learning. What we have here are 40 devices to assist students to connect virtually to the classroom. These devices were donated from several companies and individuals overseas through the effort of our Consul General and her team and the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information as well, he said. He said that the donation of the printer is to enable the school to meet the increased need for printed materials to support learning. Holness noted that the government has been employing several initiatives to assist students to connect to virtual classrooms. The government of Jamaica estimated that we would need to supply over 250,000 students with devices to enable them to connect online. There are several modalities through which this is being done. We would have assisted through the program of Advanced Through Health and Education Path, Own Your Own Device, and the One Laptop or Tablet per Child initiative, he noted. Paulwell, in his remarks, expressed gratitude for the donation to the students. These tablets for the students will enable us to go further than we have done. I just want to thank you in this day and age of online classes. It is a tremendous contribution, he said. Principal of Windward Road Primary and Junior High School, Noel Pennant, said that the devices, including the multifunctional printer, will greatly assist the students and teachers. No movement, no work, no food. 66-year-old Nora Henry told her story that since COVID-19 pandemic hit Jamaica, she has been finding it hard to make ends meet, and her struggles grew more intense after the series of no movement days announced by the government to rein in infection numbers.
How bad you said the lockdown and the pandemic has been treating you?
Us bad, bad. Now we can't go out. A chance we take and say we are going to go back look something. If we not do a little farming, we plant little catch crop, miss. And when we get it, we beg somebody sell it for we and so. Otherwise, if we don't have that, we don't have nothing. Not even look at work we can't get, miss. Or sometimes when people see we then give you a little help now and then, but like how the COVID come in, we don't get no help. We then afraid to come our yard and so on. We can't go to the yard and so. So by the time if we don't go out and go looking, we don't have it. Like hard farming. And the people them now go to school more so. And those who do online, we not have the equipment to put them for online and so. And then things there. So we have to Although me look little help, me not get no help me. Right, I know. Right, I know. My son fi do work and he not have the equipment.
So were things better for you guys before before COVID?
Yes, miss. I go to me work my little money and come in back and work. And people used to call me often and tell us they have work with you. And
When you come in and come in, you don't eat
every day we go
you
get
never
we
come
get
in
a
no
little.
one day
No one
call
then,
you.
miss. No one then.
Some of them
No
call
one
you.
then.
You know
And all of the people that have the work and they know so they can't manage and we do it for them. They don't want to pay you the money with your charge.
And I think it's the most
Yes,
sometimes go work for them, they don't pay me.
They say they owe you and when you go for your money you can't
You
get
can't
it.
get it.
So what is it that you guys would want? What you want all the government to do? Because people like you guys will
Miss,
have to work for earn, you know.
we
You
want
hardly get
them
it.
even for you give you a little even for find one little
Job give
job we give you, we can go at daytime and come in at daytime and we earn a little
So they
money.
not look no handout for nobody. You no want work
No,
for
we
no
want
own.
work for them. Mrs. Swift, when we get handouts for them might think say we are pressure them, miss. But me don't, no handle. Me a woman, me love work me money and collect me money myself.
What are you most fearful of with this pandemic and your inability to earn?
Miss, the most scaring part, miss. We can the people they won't stop the crowd. They won't stop the partying is, and when them are sanitize themselves, they and then what have you often, cause when you go, you have to carry sanitize already. And when people them a pack, the taxi man them a pack up the car them do much. I mean in them do something there. And worst thing say the bad flu a come with it too. Cause when you have the flu, you have to have your immune system have to well strong for take it. Cause if you don't have the immune system not strong enough, the flu will make kill you too.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.